Hello there, and as usual, I'm Arron from Last Stand Gamers, and welcome. So today we're in the world of medieval engineers, and we're actually going to be having a look at my super secret Bandits Hideout that's actually hidden here within this sort of dark and scary. I don't know that scary, to be honest. It looks like quite a pretty forest, but if anybody was walking past, they wouldn't hopefully notice this little bandits hideout. And the idea for this place was to have it just brimmed with stolen loot and supplies, and have all the amenities that bandits would need to trade, sleep, and live safely without being sort of pursued by law or the castle and the king's men up above. So I've just stacked boxes and loot absolutely everywhere. It's going to be really cool. So as we enter the main room, we have got, of course, we've got a fiery pit of death, and above them we've got a number of cages that we can actually suspend with victims inside and lower them down into the pit. But I'll move on and show you that on the other side as we look at some of the other rooms. So this is just like a really nice sort of round chamber with loot and supplies all over the place. We've got these pillars supporting the upper ceiling, so nothing's going to be collapsing. And the first room here on the left is going to be a small sleeping area for one or two sort of bandits. Maybe someone could run this little area and have this as storage. You've got lots of storage for all the stolen supplies and loot. That's like a constant feature of going through this place. And now this is a little bit of an escape chute that I'll show you later, but let's continue going around the main room. So as we go around this side of the main room, we've got another cavern that leads off into the trading chambers that I'll show you shortly. And we've also got the cage winch controls. So if I hold down T on this button, we'll actually notice the cage lowers down into the pit. Very scary. And if we use this wheel, the cage will actually lower back up, so we can actually save the victim. So when we're interrogating them, we can be shouting to the cage, tell him to give us the information on the secret entrance to the castle. If they don't give them, we just drop them into the pit below. Oh, that'd be really cool. Maybe a disconnect button is also going to be required for this thing, but you can see how we'll do that. The only thing I've not worked out for this is how to pull the cage into the side, but I think all we'll need is another winch, and we'll just pull it into the side, load the cage up, and off we go. So as we head around this side of the Bandits Hideout, we have, of course, something that every cave needs is a bar. So we've got the bar itself here, we've got some tables, so all the bandits can configure and tell them about their terrible sort of plans and what they've been up to today, all the pickpocketing and crime. And behind here, we've just got some supplies. We've got obviously all the brewery equipment, and we've just got a nice simple bar with some desks and chairs there. It's a very cool little room, and once again we've overstocked it with stolen loot and supplies. Now if we continue around the back here, we're actually going to head into one of the final rooms. We've got a boarded off way that's going to be constructed into something else very soon, and that is the escape chute that leads people around the back from the actual sleeping area. So once you've come out the sleeping bay, you can escape up the rear way. Now this is the sort of trading hub room. We've got a stage there, so you could have people up at the top trading, trying to sell loot to the people below and so on, and you just trading different supplies. And once you've picked up your actual supplies, you send them up this shaft here by crane to another location, and you can be on your way, load them into the car. I've got a king statue in here, and I've put this in here for a reason, because I thought it'd be like a funny thing. It's like a stolen statue that one of the bandits has maybe stolen from a castle up above, and they managed to bring it back down here. So as they're all drinking and trying to trade supplies, that's just quite ironically there in the middle of the ground. Now as we move up here, we've not actually hooked up this system fully yet. We've got to connect up this so it's controllable from the actual bottom rather than just the top, but we've actually got a supply lift so that bandits can bring more supplies rather than just the few through the main entrance. So we've got some barrels and some crates loaded up there, and we've got a very inconspicuous little house here that is used to further store these stolen barrels and the supplies or whatever is aboard and building construction. And I've just made it look as abandoned as possible, so if someone was happen to come along this, they'd be like, oh, there's grass growing all over the floor, oh no, nobody must live here, and so on. And then I was also trying to work out a way of sealing this off, or maybe even bringing it into part of the house so it's even less conspicuous to find. So we've got the actual winch wheel there that brings up the actual car up and down. But today I thought I would show you this. It's quite an interesting little construction, and the distance between the house and the front is not too far, but it's enough for one to be used as an escape route if the other one happens to fail. But like I said, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.
You will pay for the crimes you have committed. But please, I've not stolen anything. You're right, you haven't. Let's let you down. Oh, thank you. Oh. Oops. Oh, by the way, it's on the Steam Workshop. Download it, boy.